Mark, you're an honest man. You always have been very open, but today ultimately that just wasn't good enough, was it?
No, I think you're right. Like you say, I'm struggling to really find any positives, at the moment. It wasn't good enough. I thought first half there were certain bits of our play that was functioning okay. We were passing the ball well, breaking the lines, but we didn't really have any end product to our play. Our shooting was poor, a lot of shots missing the target, choosing the wrong option in the final third, not clinical enough, and obviously coming in at 0-0, at half time. Second half, to be fair, I don't think we made their keeper make a save, and it's our goalkeeper that's having to sort of make the saves. As you can probably tell by my sort of demeanour at the moment, I'm absolutely fuming with that performance. We've tried to be positive as a staff, and we've praised the players a lot this year. We've had some good moments and we've had some poor moments this year, and that today is obviously an extremely low moment for us. I'm struggling to pick any positives out. People don't want to hear a technical sort of analysis of the game, to be quite honest with you. They want to see their team get points on the board and win games, and we haven't done. Okay, Whitehawk have picked up a little bit the last couple of weeks, and there's no doubt that Steve's obviously, putting a competitive team together at this level. But, there's no excuses. I mean, that's a poor home performance. We haven't made their keeper work. Our quality really, when it really counted throughout the game, was poor. I felt we looked a little bit weak at times as well. It was just, it's a poor day for us. I've got to take responsibility as the manager. And the way I'm feeling at the moment, it's hard. It's hard to sort of look to the next game. To be honest, I'm that down about it. But I'm sure, as the week goes, we'd have to pick ourselves up because we've got more games of football to play, and we've got to get more wins on the board. But not good enough today. Nowhere near enough quality. Nowhere near enough desire to really sort of put our bodies on the line when it really matters. We were sort of always in and around it, but not actually getting to the ball or making enough things happen. That's the way I see it. Very disappointed with the players. We've told them that in there, as I say, I can't really think of many positives to come out of the day, to be quite honest with you.
And the frustration for a manager and for the spectators that watch Stockton City home and away is the inconsistency, isn't it? You've produced a fantastic first half last week against Hungerford, deserved something out of the game midweek and were unlucky, and then you come here in front of your own fans this afternoon, and I've actually seen some supporters, which is very rare, actually leaving early, and that's not what you want at this level, is it?
Well, of course it's not, no, and that's disappointing to hear, but we can't blame the supporters. They pay their money, and they expect to see their team sort of fighting for every point. And as I say, it's sometimes, as a manager, you sort of think to yourself, well, I've got all of the answers, I know, but, perhaps that we're just not quite good enough to produce consistent performances every single week. We've seen in certain spells that we have done, and I think in general over the last since we beat Colchester at home, there was a lot of Colchester away in the FA Cup. There's a lot of encouraging performances, but if you look back to the sort of last few games, I think Gloucester on Boxing Day away, it was a good win for us, but I didn't think we played particularly well in that game. We obviously then were poor at home against Gloucester in our last game, and the last two performances haven't been too bad, even though we lost at Havant. But our last two home performances, Gloucester and today, hasn't been good enough. And I don't know whether it's we try to play a bit too much football because we're on the 3G and we want to pass it and play, but you've still got to be able to be good in both boxes. You've got to put the ball in the net. And you've got to defend in the other end, and that's the most important thing. It's not so much the play in between both boxes; it's the key moments, and we just weren't aggressive enough, and we didn't have enough quality to break them down. Simple as that.
you say you're struggling to look for positives. One positive, obviously losing Jack Stevens in the week. I felt Craig King really put in a good performance, put in some great saves for you, and probably kept you in the game at times.
No, it was a great debut for Craig. I think we can see what we got with the goalkeeper with him. You know, he's done very well, looked very assured, some good saves. It was a really, really positive debut for Craig. So that is one positive, you're right, that we can take out of it. But, you know, I mean, I don't want to sort of come on and start trying to sort of, you know, dissect the game with a fine-tooth comb and baffling people with technicalities. I know for a fact, you know, that isn't good enough. You know, there's no excuses. That's a very, very disappointing day for us. We've had some disappointing days this season. You know, I'm feeling very sort of low myself at the moment. So I've got to sort of have a little look. I've got to try and pick myself up and then try and pick the players up. But yeah, I'm a very disappointed guy today, that's for sure.
Mark, thanks for being honest, and hopefully back on the road next week at Thurrock and back to a good performance.
Thank you.